growing toxicity in the environment of college basketball. Perhaps it was the never-content relationship between the kids, the pros, and the agents in between. Perhaps it was simply wanderlust and the chance to coach at the one level he'd never been. For whatever reason, John Beilein is now the head man of the Cleveland Cavaliers, leaving much of Michigan feeling more blue than maize. Brendan Quinn of The Athletic has been covering this story since it developed on Monday morning. Brendan, let's start with the why. Do you believe this was more about John Beilein looking at the environment of college basketball and not really enjoying where the future was headed, or one final chance for him to conquer a mountaintop he had never had the opportunity to climb?
I would not go either or. I think both can be true. I would lean more, though, toward this being, kind of a final hurdle for a guy who's always wanted to test himself against the best. You're talking about a 4-decade career that's all kind of led up to this opportunity. And if he had gotten the chance last year to take the Pistons job, I believe he would have taken it. This is something that he wants. I think he really wants to see if he can run his stuff with and against the best players in the world. This is an opportunity. At the same time, yeah, I think the transfer culture of college basketball and constantly replacing players who are leaving early for the draft and being unable to develop guys, it's wearing on him, and it wore him down. I think he just kind of got tired of having to redo a roster every offseason, and probably made the decision a little bit easier. I'd put it that way.
Brandon, you and I probably spend way too much time on message boards. They are usually not positive places. And whether it's message boards, whether it's Twitters, whether it's other social media venues, you look around and even the most diehard Michigan fans are offering nothing but thank yous, congratulations, good lucks to John Beilein. What does that say about John Beilein, not just the coach, but John Beilein, the person?
Yeah, I mean, I think John's backstory is relatable in that, he didn't come from a coaching tree. He really worked himself literally from a high school JV coach to the NBA. This is a guy who won in an admirable way, always kind of embraced what he was as the Michigan basketball coach. And as people got very comfortable with the idea of him being basically the coach for life, those around Michigan basketball, I think, really realized what they had.
And as much as everyone seems to love John Beilein, it takes about 48 hours for all of those people to then focus on what's next. Ward Manuel basically insinuated that he would prefer someone with head coaching experience. Mm-hmm. Are we then to glean that basically eliminates Luke Yaklich, the quote-unquote defensive coordinator, from likelihood of becoming John Beilein's replacement?
I do think that more so than not, Ward Manuel would like to have someone who is a proven commodity and who has coached as a head coach at the highest level. But, if you have a short list of candidates and those names start to fall off for whatever reason, you could certainly get down to certain viable candidates like Luke Yaklich, like, any of the other assistants on the staff. So I think Ward likely starts a little bit higher, and maybe it gets to that point, but I think Ward wants a proven winner. I think he wants someone with experience, and I also think he might be most interested in someone who has coached at a place like Michigan where there is kind of the behemoth of football to deal with and understanding what it's like to work in an environment like that.
Lastly, Brendan, before we let you go, where do you think this job now ranks nationally after the places that John Beilein has taken it?
Well, it's always hard to decipher between the program and the coach a lot of times. When if you take a guy like Jay Wright away from Villanova, is that still a top 10 job? I'm not sure. Sometimes it's so attached to the coach. But what Michigan has is the brand, and it's certainly a top 10 national brand. So as long as you have a coach who is capable of leading a program that can compete for Big Ten championships and national championships, then you have a top 10 program on top of it. So I really think You have to kind of dovetail those two ideas, those two narratives, but you can never separate the program from the coach. Those two are intertwined.
Brandon Quinn of The Athletic giving us all the news we need regarding John Beilein. Also pulling double duty at Bethpage Black, I understand, getting ready to cover the PGA Championship. So, Brendan, we appreciate the time. And as you know, I am both very thankful for your time and extremely jealous of your current location.
Well, thanks, Rick. Don't worry, though. The sun has yet to come out here. So we'll see. Maybe the weekend.
Thanks, Brendan.